with the AI notes taker.
Okay.
So
Then,
it's
yeah,
click on the three dots and it says
of course.
record
Yeah,
with
I'm
Zoom.
also,
If you can do it.
yeah, I'm also recording to just make double sure that we have it. And it will be recorded on the cloud. Is that a problem? Is it okay? I think you have access. So perfect. So let's get into it. What we talked about last time, as I earlier mentioned, was the EntreComp framework. I keep admitting people participating. Yeah. And to make sure that we are all on the same page, I will just again share the framework just to refresh your memory or even introduce it for people that are participating in the session for the first time. So we've seen and we said that EntreComp was coined exactly 10 years ago in June of 2016. It was a coherent framework in order to integrate several aspects of entrepreneurial traits and characteristics. And it is divided in these three key areas: ideas and opportunities, resources, and action. Of course, there is a small, tiny problem, a challenge about EntreComp. This one has to do with the fact that EntreComp refers to persons, to individuals. As we had the opportunity to mention in the previous session, entrepreneurship is a highly teamwork, highly collective activity. It cannot be successful just carried out by a single person. It needs complementarities. It needs different perspectives. It needs collective efforts. So the first critical matter about this framework would be that it only refers to individuals. The second thing is that there is no proof, actually. The people who developed this framework have never conducted a statistical research in order to prove what? Either that having those traits, those characteristics, you are able to become a successful entrepreneur, and vice versa, if you are actually a successful entrepreneur, you must or you should have those characteristics. So this is a big, huge, if I might say, deal when you want to start your accelerator or a facility incorporating entrepreneurial ventures and promoting entrepreneurial incentives. We just keep this for the record and just needed to share these critical aspects with you because as we're going to see later on, these are really important and are affecting in various ways our activity. Another thing that I would like to mention is that in the previous session, I started with a unit 3.7, which is the last one, which is actually this one that I should deliver today. So I will just have a short mention on the unit 3.6, just to take care that we didn't skip anything important, and of course then move forward to the final presentation. I hope that everything is clear at this point. I don't know if there are any questions or if there are people that need to interact me. As always, feel free to do so. I mostly enjoy having these courses in a manner of active interaction and discussion, conversation. rather than delivering a lecture, if I might say. So in the previous session, we discussed about why creativity is important and what is the distinction between discovery, between invention, and finally innovation. These are three terms that we usually use interchangeably, but actually if we want to focus more in the core of what they actually mean, we need to distinguish them. What are the learning objectives of today's session? First, we can scratch this out, understand the EntreComp framework. We did it last time. Find ways to and resources to design targeted workshops. We will get into it following. Apply creativity techniques, as I mentioned. This will be combined with the implementation of design thinking framework, which I have briefly prepared for today's session. In just 5 slides, we will have an overview of what design thinking means and why is it important when you're trying to build a new venture. Use and mostly not use because we don't have the time available for using problem-solving frameworks, but rather we're gonna mention those. And maybe in the final few minutes, we will assess the workshop outcomes and have a free discussion on that. What is entrepreneurship? Key insights. I think we covered those matters also in the previous session. We could just summarize that entrepreneurship is when you act upon opportunities, ideas, and transform them into value for others. The value can be financial, cultural, or social. There are millions, there are dozens of different definitions for entrepreneurship. I used to keep it simple. I would say this is the combination of resources in order to create value. And of course, this value can have several forms and can be asserted to different groups. One key fact that we always need to remember is that our approach should be customer-centric. So this means that we have spotted not only an opportunity or a passion, something that we like to get involved into, but we also have spotted a challenge of substantial value, a problem, a need maybe that people are seeking to fulfill it, that people actually need to make their lives better. So EntreComp might not be the best framework, but it makes easier to understand the foundational level and all the following ones, the intermediate, advanced, and expert level, in order to build upon previously or inherited knowledge. We mentioned that entrepreneurship is a process of revelation. It's so multifactorial and so complex that one cannot claim that having a textbook, a complete textbook or several courses on entrepreneurship and innovation has mastered exactly all the knowledge that is needed, all the skills that are needed, capacities and capabilities in order to be a successful entrepreneur. You start from what you actually need to implement, from the immediate needs and requirements of your venture, and you build upon those. And actually, this is why I'm coming back to the initial point that we need a team. One single person cannot acquire all the knowledge needed or develop all the skills that are needed in order to assert specific activities, specific challenges that is willing to to cover within his or her or their entrepreneurial activity. Some key features we need to emphasize on processes. Processes are continuously improved, is something that we can come back and reevaluate, restructure, redesign. We don't operate within a rigid framework, something that maybe in earlier days was the way to go, like build a plan, a very specific plan, and follow it in order to achieve your goals. Within the lean startup framework, we mostly try to reiterate, to adopt an iterative approach in order to continuously adjust and not only adjust, but enhance our activities. The second point is something that I'm strongly, if I might say, opposed, is not just only setting themes, but challenge is a thing, something that we need to always keep our eyes and mind onto in order to find different ways to resolve it. Highlighting diverse examples, be very broad on our perspective. Always we need to pose questions, because this won't lead us in fixed answers. Most of the times, what I've seen from coaching students, student entrepreneurial ventures, is that they have found a really great solution, a great answer to a specific challenge, and they somehow get in love with this answer. Not only continuing pursuing to sticking to this solution, but avoiding to listen to what the customer has to say, to what their prospect customer has to say, what is actually the need they have. And we will see a really specific and nice example within the design thinking framework about why this falling in love with the answer, falling in love with the solution approach is detrimental in several ways. Diving with stepping back, this is exactly what I previously mentioned on the iterative process, continuously improving what we've already started and trying to improve it. Use familiar materials unfamiliarly. Someone would say in different ways, and be comfortable with not knowing, is exactly what we mentioned in the previous session about uncertainty. And I believe we clearly distinguished the difference between risk and uncertainty. So there are 4 approaches: inquiry-based learning, somehow more structured format, building on specific questions and have a framework in order to operate. The second one might be the project-based learning. You remember the example that I mentioned, that in several business schools, they have real-life projects where students are awarded a specific amount, and during the semester they are called to build their own ventures. So this is very hands-on approach. Tinkering in ways of experimenting, I would say, creating prototypes, creating minimum viable products, and testing them. about how they operate and how they might fill gaps and needs. And finally, the human-centered methodology, design thinking with its key features, empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. We will have the chance to get more, to dive more into depth on the design thinking approach. I don't know if you are familiar with the term market pull or technology push. I'm just sharing this as a question to open the discussion. Have you ever heard market pull or technology push? Have you maybe in the past used an MP3 player? Did you ever own such a device? Before all these platforms, Spotify, vast amounts of music freely available on YouTube. We were all using these MP3 players. It was the following of the CD compact disc era. What I want to say, and I'm mentioning this, is that MP3 was a technology push product. Nobody knew that he or she needed an MP3 player until technology made it available, and not only it was released as a device, but also there was a mature ecosystem, meaning the internet, providing all these peer-to-peer sharing files and platforms free of charge, like LimeWire, Napster, I don't know, torrents. You might already have used such kind of visited such kind of websites in the past. So it's not only about having the know-how and the technology, but it's also having all the infrastructure that is needed to facilitate the use of the product or the adoption of the solution. Henry Ford famously said that if I asked my customers what they need, they would ask me for a faster horse. I don't know if you ever heard this quote. This exactly underlines the fact that I previously mentioned. Sometimes people, customers might be the source of innovation, but in some other cases, customers don't actually know what they need. They only know that they need a solution to their problem. Nobody could imagine that a car would be what it is today. Of course, the cars are continuously improved and reinvented in several ways, as of course, mobility is changing through time. But yeah, I just wanted to underline this fact. Technology push, market pull, two different things. We work in the middle ground. And in order to work in this middle ground of exploration and innovation, you need not only to come up with great ideas, but also you need to test them in real life circumstances and evaluate them, repeat, and enhance them in order to finalize a product. So we're exploring technology, we brainstorm on ideas and innovative ways to cover different challenges and different needs, build, fail fast. This is what famously is evangelized, if I might say, if I might use this term, build fast, fail fast within the startup lingo, within the ecosystem of startups and in Silicon Valley, they always want to have this product market fit in the most efficient and most quick, in the fastest way possible. And finally, after having many iterations of improvements, and maybe this also includes many failures, you will be one step closer to your success. So in the case of trying to build a workshop on innovative design and in our case in design thinking, there are some aspects that need to be prepared and need to be in place. Of course, a clear title and target, have in place all these competencies that EntreComp framework is providing, pose specific learning objectives, define a priori your materials, and make sure that all the session is flowing in a good manner, and have already thought about having a follow-up and assessment of how the session went. So we see here the first type of workshop that could be divided, in four different sessions, four different sectors: brainstorming, scamper, substitute, combine, adapt, modify, put another use, mind mapping, and random walk association. All these activities, you understand, that are highly creative activities, and what they are aiming to achieve is to generate a bank, a reserve, if I might say, of new ideas and different perspectives. These are always going to be used at a later stage as reference, as materials to be implemented in our solution, in the solution that we are building. The second type of workshop is the problem solving. State a specific problem, make it understandable, put it in the middle. This is the challenge that we need to solve, and then we need to collectively think upon that in order to provide solutions, provide different answers on that matter. So that could be divided in 5 different stages. Definition of the problem, that might be sound really commonplace, that we have a specific problem and we need to articulate it, but believe me, it can be really challenging to spot and clearly define a problem, because there are different hypotheses, either clear or non-conscious hypotheses that we are having before stating a problem. We might see different angles of the same problem. You might be familiar with essays. Of how differently someone can spot a problem. Okay, I will share with you what I had in mind in the chat room, not right now. You don't have access to this specific image. Then start generating solutions. Within this stage, we don't need to criticize, we just create new solutions and we collect as many of them as we can. And at the later stage, we concentrate them and we collect them, combining what we found in order to create a vector, if I might say, of similar solutions that lead to the most complete, the most whole image, the most complete solution. And here we are at the third workshop type, design thinking workshop. I think this is the way to go. This has been for many years the most prominent way of developing new products and new services. It's a framework that has been developed in the Stanford Institute of Design, and I will share with you the official playbook that is publicly accessible and available. And you will notice that there are 5 key sectors on design thinking. The first one has to do with empathize, seeing the world with the eyes of your customer or the person, the individual that you need to help. Define, find ways to put words into what this vision, what you're trying to achieve is, articulate it in a way, then start ideating. We see here there is a clear distinction with the previous workshop types where ideation came first. Now, before ideating, before moving forward to the ideation stage, we first empathize and define. Because this is not a random choice. If you just start ideating cold started, you might miss some specific challenges, some specific concerns, not challenges, of your customer. So first empathize, define, ideate, then start building a very basic solution, an outline, not even a solution, an outline of how your solution might look like. And these days, this is something really easy to achieve with AI tools. You don't need to have excellent sketch drawing skills. You can provide a few prompts in an AI tool and it will come up with brilliant solutions. And then at the final stage, you put into testing your solution and choose the one that is most complete, that is most adequate. So what is the case? Let's first have a look at the template that I shared with you previously. And then we'll come back. This is how the template of design thinking looks like. There are 2 questions with dedicated 8 minutes each, and you conduct this activity in pairs. So when we say 8 minutes for the first section, for the interview, this means that 4 minutes are allocated for the one participant and another 4 minutes for the second participant. So you're taking the interviews to each other. And then on the second stage, you iterate on these interviews, going into more depth and trying to find more elements, more data about the solution that you are looking for. So an example that is provided here is in order to build a new solution in the world of gifts, the interviewer asks when was the last time that you gave a gift, or how did it go? What was your favorite part in this experience? We're not trying to be very specific on what we are looking for. We're mostly trying to incentivize and leverage feelings and emotions. We're trying to see the world with the eyes of our interviewee. Another thing is that we need to have a why. We need to have an explanation. We need to get into why things went this way or the other way, not putting words into interviewee mouth, just letting them express their feelings and express their concerns with their own way, with their own words. On the definition of the problem, we just work separately, and we're writing down actually the findings that we receive. What are the needs of the person, and what are the insights that we managed to find within these two first sessions. At the fourth stage, we also work as individuals. There are no interviews taking place within this stage, and we write down in a very specific word, we articulate the need of our interviewee. Why is this important? I mentioned before that I have a really interesting example, and this has to do with a very commonplace service that we see in entrepreneurship courses about providing assistance to elderly people on how to better use their technology devices. So you might be familiar with an older person that finds it difficult to unlock his or her smartphone, or sometimes they can have access to their Facebook or other social media accounts, and they always ask for a grandchild, a son, a daughter to help them. So there was a company of aspiring entrepreneurs. They thought they're going to solve this problem by creating a venture that will specifically assist those older people. Are you in line with that? Are you following me? Have you ever been in this position?
Yeah, yes, Mary. Just please increase your voice. I can't hear you exactly, no. Try to increase it.
Maybe I will talk better without my earphones. Is it better now?
I think yes.
Okay, I hope so. So they conducted this design thinking interviews with older people, with elderly, in order to define how this service is going to work, what is the best way to offer their product, and actually through empathizing with those individuals to form a very clear solution. While conducting the design thinking session, they realized that older people do not actually have a need for technical support. If there is an emergency, they might find the way to solve this smartphone or computer or whatever technology technology device problem there is. Can you imagine what was the problem that older people faced and was always asking for their younger relatives to help them? What was the need they had? The needs and the insights that these entrepreneurs found. So the actual need was not technology assistance, if I might phrase it like that, but they need for company. They need for human interaction. And the easiest way to get in contact with their younger relatives was to come up with an idea with a fake, let's say, need of that something has gone wrong with their mobile phone, with their television, with their computer, in order to invite their grandchildren or their children into their room, into their home, and spend some time with them. So as it actually turns out, the problem was merely not technological, but it was a social problem. And this is where entrepreneurship might not have so many solutions to propose, because it's much more structural of a problem. It's much more of a societal need rather than the need a single service or a single product can cover. And on the following stages, as you have already found out the insights and you have delved into the world of your customer, you might be able to then provide solutions, to ideate after having understood what the real root problem is. This is the way to go, and to be more precise, be more specific, and increase your chances of being successful. Because within design thinking, you get rid of all those hypotheses, all the hypotheses that you have done before starting to build the product. Again and again, listen to your partner's feedback. Never defend your idea. Don't fall in love with your idea, as I mentioned before, and learn. Actually learn from your partner through empathy. Only after you have gaining all this knowledge and all these insights, you will get into the final stages of prototyping, where I encourage you to use the available AI tools and share your solution with your customer. This is the most complete way to build a solution, and trust me, this has been used in many occasions and has provided several solutions, successful solutions and successful products to users. So after having that said, I'm coming back to our slides. I don't know if there is any question, if you would like to interrupt me. I'm available, I'm here, okay. And these are the stages of this. Don't tell, only show what your ideas are, what your propositions are. Show them, because visual communication sometimes might be much more efficient and much more much stronger than verbal communication. When you see a picture, you see not only the aesthetics, the colors, the designs, but you also can see behind the picture or the sketch or the drawing, what are all these assumptions the creator has done, and which of those assumptions find you to agree or disagree, to cover your needs or not being what exactly you were looking for. So at the final stage, after having conducted any of these three proposed workshops, you need to have the tools to assess them, to conduct not only peer assessment, but also self-assessment, how you participated, how you interacted with others, what did you learn, what would you like to learn and was not there, was not available, provide some comments, and then finally create a folder of documentation which includes photos, videos, deliverables of this session, of this workshop for future reference. All these are going to be very useful, and believe me that even after a few months, you will have forgotten what took place. And if you keep all this evidence in one folder, either in physical format or a digital folder, will be very, very useful for future reference and in order to build something successful at a later stage. As this insight mentions, learning happens even if a project gets abandoned. Success is measured by ownership of the space and collaboration. And I will share with you here a link of how leading organizations, leading corporations have documented projects that actually failed because they learn from those failed projects. Microsoft, for example, this is the killed by Microsoft. Even to this day, 2026, Microsoft Lens, it was discontinued just a few months ago. I was using this application. I was using daily for scanning documents and everything, or Azure Studio, Math Solver for Excel, and they realized that these are not useful projects to continue using. I'm just sending here. The same goes for huge projects. Millions of dollars were spent in these projects that finally never found the surface. And here, failure is a chance of learning. Is not a stopping point. It might be a new start. So, a few points of entry, how to start, how to begin, pre-play, build skills, find personal passion, a problem, a challenge that will motivate people to participate. And even you can develop a competition. Apart from competition, there is a term that I really enjoy, is co-competition, like competing while cooperating with others. So not competing just for winning and dominating over other individuals or other teams, but competing in order for all together to learn new things and in a way to cooperate. I don't know if you're familiar with hackathons, with the term of the hackathon. What hackathon is? Hackathons are big events gathering several people that they are appointed with specific challenges, and they are asked to provide solutions within a specific time frame. I have participated in several hackathons. It's a really enjoyable situation, a really fun event, and I would strongly suggest you, if you find the opportunity, either to run a hackathon for a new idea or either participate in a hackathon because there are many opportunities even for public authorities to learn new skills and attain new technologies, new approaches for their processes. And we have here a reflection exercise. You can do it with your own pace. We don't have the time to conduct it here live, but it refers to exactly what we mentioned before. You need to have a specific concept. If you think of conducting a hackathon, for example, what would that title be? What the duration is going to be? Usually hackathons are much longer, not just a couple of hours. Usually they are lasting at least 24 hours. Then you need to design specific activities. What is the activity and what are the materials that need to be incorporated within this workshop? And finally, go back and provide an assessment, provide comments, and learn from those activities. These are really useful. These are not to be skipped, trust me. Look out on Google about hackathons and about these creative activities, how many organizations are being benefited from them, and how could you create a local event, a local workshop to create new results and find new solutions. So this is what I had to say about this unit, the 3.6 unit, which actually was planned to be delivered on the previous session. I would very much welcome questions and things that I could explain further, requests. We won't be conducting this quiz. You will have it as a homework, and we will share it as an activity to be done asynchronously with your own pace, at your own time, not within this session.
Thank you, Maris. Thank you very much.
I think I need to thank you for being so patient and attending the whole session. I hope there was something useful today for you. You learned something new, and at any time you can reach out to me.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's very nice. I mean, it's useful for us. If you have any links related to design thinking or problem solving, pedagogy or material, send it through WhatsApp, please.
Of course, I will send you.
Thank you very much.
I will send you right now the workbook it's public, it's free.
It's better if you can send through WhatsApp group, group, it's better, for me. Send it to Ricky, then he will send it to us.
Okay, yeah, because I don't have access to this one.
Never mind, okay.
I will send it to Enrique, yeah. That would be the best way.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Have a good one. Thank you very much.
Nice
Bye.
day.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
If you want to send it to me, I can forward it to the group
Thank you very much.
and upload it. Okay?
Yeah, I can send you via email, of course. I can have here the link, and I will send you via email the PDF file.
Ricky,
Okay.
do you hear us, Ricky? Are you with me? Ricky?
Yes, let me know.
Still waiting for the invitation letter for the visit, and then
Yes,
also
we're meeting with Sophia next week so that we can do the invitation letters. No worries.
also we are waiting for the action for the budget for CIT.
Mhm.
Nothing happened.
Yes, we're working on that as well.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So I'll wait for your email, Marius. Do you want I send to you well, you can ask Sophia for my email and then you send it to me.
I have my email here. If you would be kind enough to write it here in the chat window, I would appreciate it very much. And I will follow up right away. Perfect.
Romeo@mundusgroup.com.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Have a good one.
Bye-bye. You can close the meeting if you want.